And we're back. Okay, so today we're going to talk about, what are we talking about today? Oh, yes, how to stop feeling overwhelmed by your goals. So, we broke down some different goals last week that we're going to be focusing on in 2022. And you guys made some really big, awesome goals. But some of you also mentioned that like you get overwhelmed when you write out goals and you want to get there, but it kind of freaks you out, it overwhelms you, it causes stress, anxiety, and you just stop. Okay? And I think that's common for a lot of us, right? So goals are meant to get us out of our comfort zone and push us. But if they're pushing us a little bit too far or too quickly, we're going to give up, okay? And if it seems just too far away, we might just feel lost and we have no idea where to start. So, how do we kind of break it down so we're not so overwhelmed, but we still have some awesome goals to achieve? And my first tip is just be optimistic, but realistic. Okay. So we need to set goals that are we can actually hit, you know? So let's say you're a virtual assistant, and right now, maybe you have one client for like 5 hours a week, you're bringing in, I don't know, maybe you're bringing in like 500 a month, something like that, right? And all of a sudden you're like, I want to make $250,000 in 2022 just working with clients. Okay. That's an awesome goal. That's a very big goal, but like, how realistic is it? Do you think you actually can do that? Or is that just a fun number that you have picked out of your head? Right. Or let's say you're losing weight. And unless you're working with a doctor, like most likely you're not going to lose hundreds of pounds in 1 year. And so if you're like, I want to lose 150 pounds, but you only weigh 250 pounds, like that's not a realistic goal. So we need to be optimistic in our goals. We need to set goals that challenge us, that take us out of our comfort zone, but they also need to be realistic. So we need to actually be able to obtain them so that we don't get so bogged down and so discouraged by them that we can't actually do anything. Okay. So when we set goals that we can actually hit, then we're more likely to follow through with the action steps that we create to get there. So they need to require hard work, but be obtainable, right? So maybe that's doubling your income within your side business. So if you are making that $500 working 5 hours a week, maybe it's okay. In the first 3 months of 2022, I'm going to double my income and make $1,000 a month in my side business. So it's still a good goal. It's going to take some work, but it's completely realistic and attainable. And, we don't want to go to the other extreme of setting such little goals that we're not inspired by them. And we just are like, they're there, and we don't believe in everything that we can obtain. So we need to find a kind of a happy medium where it is a challenging goal, but it's optimistic, it's awesome, and it excites us, but it needs to also be realistic. And so once we have that optimistic and realistic goal in our mind, written down, and we've committed to it, we need to break it down, okay? So if we just have a goal and we're doing random things trying to work towards that goal, most likely we're not going to actually get anywhere near achieving it. And so we need to create smaller, milestones along the way. And so it's kind of like project management. You need to plan out what you're going to do to accomplish what your stakeholder needs. And you would be the stakeholder, right? So we're going to break it down. Like first month, what are some things I can do? Okay, weekly, what are some things I can do? Daily, what are some things I can do that I can actually, we have to still be realistic. We can challenge ourselves and push ourselves out of our comfort zone, but we do need to be realistic. Like, let's say you're on a weight loss journey. Are you really going to spend 2 hours on your bike a day? Are you really going to go hike 10 miles a day? I don't know. Maybe that is realistic for you. For most people, it's not. And so we need to kind of make a plan, right? How are we going to achieve this goal? So we have the goal, and how I like to do it is I create the big goal, optimistic and realistic, and I work backwards. So what needs to happen for me to get to this goal? And weight loss is always an easy example because you can break it down like, okay, let's say I want to lose 30 pounds. Okay, well, what do I need to get to be able to lose 20? And then maybe I break it down to the first 10. And then in the week, like what are some things I can do to try to, burn extra calories, or maybe I'm making healthier choices with my food. And so you're just breaking it down to small little steps that you can hold yourself accountable to, but they don't overwhelm you. But I want you to do it in a way that you see how those small steps are actually going to lead to your goal. And you're going to write those out, or you can use a project management software, or, create a little Trello board that has each week everything that you're committing to, and you can go check it off if you're a list person. But without a plan, these goals are just out there. And so, like, in January, we all make these vision boards and it's fun to dream. But if you just put that vision board on the wall, which, is still inspiring, you're not going to get anywhere if you don't have a plan on how you're going to work towards those things, right? And so, quite literally, you're just going to take it one step at a time. Once you have your plan and it's laid out, and tomorrow, I'm just focusing on tomorrow. And here's what I need to do tomorrow or today, whatever, to get one step closer to what I'm trying to achieve. Another thing is your timeline. So I want you guys to also not only be optimistic and realistic about your goal, but be optimistic and realistic about your timeline. Okay, so most likely, if you're not going to achieve these awesome, huge goals that are challenging and taking you out of your comfort zone in 3 days or even a week, maybe even a month, depends on the goal, right? Like, you need to set healthy timelines, especially if it's anything in regards to your health. Nothing should be super fast, right? Everything needs to go or happen appropriately and safely. And that applies to pretty much all goals. I'm not sure. We really shouldn't be rushing anything because it's not going to be quality work that gets to us to that goal. And then that goal, if it doesn't have quality work, is not going to be as valuable when we actually get there. So really think about what a realistic timeline is. It still needs to challenge you. It needs to include hard work, but like if you guys are doing a health thing, like, you shouldn't be starving yourself. You shouldn't be doing extremes to hit a goal. It needs to be a lifestyle change. Just like if you're working on your business, you don't want to be cutting corners. You don't want to be buying, email lists from someone on Fiverr. Like, you need to do it right, to do it correctly, or that goal is worthless. And also, my final point here is just don't let your goals take over. Like, you do need to have breaks. You need to, like, have a treat day, or if in business, you need to have that rest day, that relaxation where you just turn screens off and you just chill. Okay. So goals are good. They keep us focused on what we want to do. They keep us going and they can motivate us, but don't let them be everything within your life, within your business. You really need to enjoy the process and enjoy where you're going. If you hate the steps that you've created or whatever journey you're on for your goal, it's probably the wrong goal. Okay. So I really, as we jump into, like, we're always talking about goals. And as we, get closer to 2022, we're going to be talking about goals more, and we'll probably have like a vision board party on here. But I really want you guys to just focus on not allowing goals to overwhelm you. They need to challenge you and take you out of that comfort zone, but not overwhelm. So be optimistic, but realistic. Break it down and ease up on that time frame as you take it one step at a time, and just don't let these goals take over everything you're doing. So those are my thoughts today, and I am sure I will be back on here to chat with y'all tomorrow. Love you. Bye.